Hi everyone, my name is Hedy and I write the Hed Chef column for the new paper on Sunday. This week we have a guest chef, Miss Dina Shahab, who showed me how to make a Lebanese dish called fattah using baguette, or you can use pita bread if you can find it in your supermarket, and yogurt. Fattah is essentially a dish which uses bread and a yogurt sauce and various ingredients to create layers, somewhat like a Lebanese savoury tiramisu. Okay, what we have here is the yogurt sauce that will go on top to top off the layers of the fattah that we're going to make today. And I've used 500 ml of Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt is very thick, so you have to thin it down with a little bit of water. I used 50 to 80 ml of water to thin it down. Also, I added in 4 tablespoonfuls of tahini, which is a sesame paste. And the tahini that I used was given to me by Miss Shahab, and it's from Syria. So she says that the consistency is thicker. It's not as thin as the tahini that you buy ready-made in the supermarkets here. She also gave me mint, also from Syria, and the smell is actually stronger than the regular mint that you buy off the shelves here. So if you're using the regular mint, you might want to add a little bit more. You could probably like double up the amount that you use, depending on if you like it or not. And I also added in 3 to 4 pinches of salt. You can add a little bit more or add a little bit less, given your own individual preference. I also added in lemon juice. For Miss Shahab's version, she used the juice of 1 whole lemon, but I don't like my stuff so sour, so I use only the juice of half a lemon. You can add more or add less again, it's really entirely up to you. Okay, right here we have the pita bread. So what you do is that you can buy the pita bread from the supermarket that's fresh, and it's round, so you have it this way laterally, and then you basically cut it into little wedges, or you can choose it to cut it into like little squares. It's really, again, entirely up to you. What you do is that you heat some olive oil in a pan on slow heat or low heat, and then you wait till the oil is hot enough, and then you put in the bread, deep fry it, and make sure you keep the flame low so that you get an even golden brown. I'm quite impatient, as you can see, so some of my pita bread, because I put in too many at a time, so some parts are white. But if you have a lot of time on your hands and if you're not impatient like me, you can just do it nicely so that each piece looks like this, just golden brown all over. Not that it really makes a total difference, I feel, when you eat it, because it's good. As long as it's crispy, that's good enough. The version that Miss Shahab showed me was vegetarian, but I decided that I wanted to have a meat filling in the fattah. So what I've done is that I bought some chicken fillet, about 220 grams, and then I marinated them in a dry marinade of cumin, paprika, allspice, a little bit of pepper and salt, and then I just pan-fried them. After pan-frying them, I sliced them up. So we'll be using this in the fattah later. These are chickpeas or garbanzo beans, as you will see them on the labels if you buy them off the supermarket shelves in a can. And all you have to do is just open the can, and there you have it. There's no necessity to cook it from scratch, buying the dried chickpeas and all, because the whole point of this dish is to have things as simple as possible. So we begin by taking the pita bread, which has already been deep fried, and not to worry, I've already washed my hands. And you can put it at the bottom of the casserole dish and make a layer out of it. But actually, if you're going to serve it straight away, you could even just do it straight in a bowl. It doesn't have to be a casserole dish. Okay, we're going to save some of the bread to make another layer later. So we'll add the chickpeas as a second layer. There is really no hard and fast rule to making fattah. You can make it in alternate the ingredients in any way that you wish. It's really entirely up to you. So we'll do it in a couple of layers. Here we have the pan-fried chicken that has already been prepared. So we can just put on a little bit here, and then we can add a little bit more bread. So you can continue to layer it. If you're not fussy, you could just do everything all at once. You don't have to do it, in alternating layers. You can just put the bread and then the chickpeas, followed by the chicken, or the chicken then the chickpeas. Really, it's very much up to you. So this is like the last bits of the chicken. We can just put it right here. Just spread it out. Doesn't require much skill, as you can see. And then, if you want, we can top it up with a little bit more bread. Let's just use the nice pieces. Although if they get a little burnt, that's entirely alright, because it'll all be covered up with the sauce, so nobody will know you burnt the bread. We'll just hide all the evidence of any burning under the yogurt sauce. So now this is the final layer, where we're going to put the very beautiful yogurt sauce with tahini all mixed in. If you like garlic, you can always add 1 or 2 cloves when you are blitzing the sauce. When you're making the yogurt sauce with the tahini, just blend it right in, and then you'll get a very garlicky based yogurt sauce for the topping of this fattah. The thing about making fattah is that you should serve it right away. Otherwise, the bread is going to get soggy, and that really defeats the point of frying it in the first place. And if you have leftover bread or leftover sauce, you can just keep it aside and eat it as a dip later. So for the bread, you can deep fry it first and then put it in a plastic container and store it in the fridge. It should be able to keep for probably a couple of 1 or 2 weeks. But of course, it's best to eat it fresh. But this is a really good way to use up stale bread. And if you cannot find pita, you can always use baguette and just cut it up into croutons, as Ms. Shahab showed us. So now we're adding the finishing touch by putting on the pine nuts, which I pan fried earlier in some olive oil. For some fattahs, some people like to put some clarified butter on top, but for health reasons and to keep it healthy and not so oily, we're going to skip that. And then we can add a little bit of cinnamon, so give it some flavor, and the beautiful mint that Miss Shahab gave me. So we'll just shake it on top to garnish the dish and to give the dish a little bit more flavor. So I'm not going to use too much because the mint is very strong, and personally I do like it, but for some people, you know, they might find it a little bit overwhelming. But if you're using the one from the supermarket, again, you can add a little bit more. So there we have it, fattah with chicken fillet.